Hello students, welcome to our online class. For today's lesson, please make sure you have your worksheets and a pen and pencil. I hope you will have fun learning about how nature can help us solve many of our problems. My name is Marsha, and I am from South Africa. In today's lesson, we will learn about how nature has inspired some of the products we use today. We'll also do some activities, including worksheets and a design-inspired task. Look at the pictures around me. What do you see? I can see many challenges. These are problems that need solutions. Challenges can make life very hard, but they can inspire us to come up with new ideas. And these ideas can become designs that help us live better lives. These are the people who try and solve our problems: scientists, designers, and engineers. Who can they ask for help? The answer is nature. What is nature? It is plants and animals. When we look at nature to help find solutions to our problems, we call it biomimicry. Biomimicry. Do you know what the word biomimicry means? Bio means nature, and mimicry means to copy or imitate. So, biomimicry is to copy designs in nature. Human beings are smart, but we have major challenges like climate change and pollution. We also need to live more sustainable lives. We can do this by saving energy and producing less waste. We can also create sources of energy that are long-lasting. Biomimicry helps us solve many challenges and is good for the planet. Plants and animals also experience challenges. Like us, they need water, food, and shelter. They are able to survive in difficult environments. Their body shapes, colors, and patterns help them. They have spent many years learning how to survive in difficult situations. Scientists, engineers, and designers look at our problems and try to find solutions in nature so that we can improve our lives. Let's look at examples of designs inspired by nature. Do you know what this plant is? It is a burr. This is a plant with hooks that can stick onto your clothing. There are many different types. When it sticks onto something, like our clothes, it is carried to another location. When it is removed, the seeds inside will grow into a new plant. This process can be repeated all because of the hooks that make attachment to an object easier. Do you know what invention was inspired by this plant? The answer is Velcro. Velcro was invented by George de Mestral, who was an engineer. While walking his dog outside, he noticed the hooks on the plant caused them to grip onto his dog's fur. He decided to study the burrs to understand how they became attached. He wanted to create a fabric that would mimic or copy how they stuck onto his dog's fur. This inspired him to create Velcro. Velcro is made of two sides that attach to each other. One part hooks and loops onto the other part. Today, Velcro is used on many products, including diapers and shoes. It became popular in the 1960s when NASA used them on their spacesuits and helmets. Velcro makes our lives easier because it is strong but also easy to pull apart. Next, we have the Shinkansen high-speed trains from Japan. These trains were first introduced to the country in 1964. They are fast and allow people to travel all over the country. This is the old design of the train. In the past, these trains would create a lot of noise. When it traveled at a high speed through tunnels, it would make a loud noise. This noise would disturb the people who lived nearby. Engineers had to think about how to lower this noise without slowing down the train. Ig Nankatsu, who was one of the engineers, was a bird watcher, and he was inspired by his hobby when thinking of a new design. Can you guess which animal inspired the redesign of the train? It is the kingfisher bird. The kingfisher eats fish. It dives into water to catch fish. It has to be able to move quickly and quietly to do this. Let's take a look at its beak and head. They are long and pointed. When they dive into the water, there is very little noise and movement. The engineers redesigned the front of the train so that it would mimic or copy the shape of the kingfisher's beak and head. This new design means that there is less noise and that the train travels faster and uses 15% less electricity. So far, we have learned about 2 designs inspired by nature. Before we learn more designs, let's see what we remember. Look at activity 1 on your worksheet. There is a gapfill. Use the words from the word bank to fill in the blanks. You have 2 minutes to finish this activity. Good job! Here are the answers. Well done! Did you get the right answers? Let's continue. We will now learn about more designs inspired by nature. In our next example, we can see a picture of a glass building. Let's take a closer look. In this picture, we can see glass, but there is something special about it. It has a pattern. Why is this pattern important? Let's find out. When birds fly, they can crash into glass windows. When birds look at glass, they see reflections of things like trees or themselves. Birds have no idea that the glass acts as a barrier. Remember this picture? What is the special pattern? It is UV reflective coating that birds can see. This pattern copies spider webs. Some spiders, like this one, use UV reflective strands in their webs. This web attracts some insects and it keeps others like birds away. Remember, spiders use their webs to catch prey. Webs are well built, but they can be damaged if a bird hits them. In order to protect them, spiders will use UV reflective threads. Birds can recognize or see these threads. The webs act as a warning so that birds don't crash into them. This special glass, just like the spider web, keeps birds away. Let's go to our next example. Can you guess what this is? These are wind turbines. Wind turbines. What is a wind turbine? It changes the energy from moving wind into electricity. Let's take a closer look. We already use the energy from wind in many ways. We use it for sailing and flying kites. Wind turbines are a good source of energy because they don't create pollution and they are sustainable. This is the blade of a turbine. This blade looks interesting because it is not smooth. It has bumps on it. Look at the next picture. What animal is it? It's a whale, a humpback whale. What does a humpback whale have to do with a wind turbine? Humpback whales are very big, but they can move quickly and launch their bodies out of the water. Whales eat fish. In order to catch them, they have to be able to make quick turns in the water. How do they do this? Look at its fin. The edges of the fin are not smooth. They are bumpy. The blade of the turbine and the fin of the whale look the same. Why do these whales have bumps on their fins? These bumps are called tubercles. Tubercles. They help whales move quickly and turn quickly underwater. When water moves over the fin, the whale is not slowed down. These bumps keep the movement of water steady. They make its ability to move less difficult. So, it is easier for them to turn and catch fish. A scientist called Frank E. Fish, yes, that is his name, studied the humpback whale and its bumpy fins. He decided to redesign turbine blades so that it would have the same bumpy look. It is said that these blades create more energy when compared to smooth blades. The bumpy blades are also faster and quieter. A company called Whale Power is currently focusing on testing and producing more wind turbines with tubercle blades. We will now look at our last nature-inspired design. I hope this design inspires you. This is a picture of a helmet worn by American football players. American football is a contact sport in which players can get serious injuries. These injuries come from high-speed hits during the game. It is common for these players to get head injuries. Over a long period of time, this can damage the brain. The brain is an organ, and when a person hits their head hard, the brain can bounce around. A helmet protects a player by reducing the force of impact if they get hit. Helmets will also reduce the chance of getting injuries to the face and teeth. Like many inventions, we can always try to improve on the design of a helmet. When Alberto Garcia played American football in high school, he suffered from a concussion. He decided to develop a helmet and shoulder pads that would give more protection to the person wearing it. Can you guess which animal inspired him? It was the woodpecker. We know that woodpeckers hammer on trees in order to get food or make holes. These birds will hammer their heads at a rate of 18 to 22 times per second. How do they do this without damaging their brains? Their heads are built to work like shock absorbers. The bones in their skulls are spongy. Their beaks are hard but elastic. Bones in the head and the neck also reduce the shock from impact. Garcia's helmet and shoulder pads design has sensors in it that will keep the head stable if there is impact. If the sensors detect high impact, the stabilizers will lock the helmet in place to stop the head and brain from moving too much. Alberto Garcia is still developing his design, and the US Air Force and Navy has shown interest in it. Wow, they are all amazing designs. I think my favorite was the wind turbine blade design. I love ocean animals. And I wonder how else they can inspire us. We are now going to do activity 2 on your worksheet. This is a matching activity. You need to match the picture of the design to the picture of the plant or animal that inspired it. Please use your ruler. You have 2 minutes to finish this activity. Good job. Here are the answers. Good job, everyone. We've learned about how nature inspires us to improve our lives. Do we remember what biomimicry is? It is to copy designs in nature. We do this to find solutions to challenges. Are there any challenges you need solutions to? In activity 3A, you are going to think about a challenge you or our community faces. Let's look at my example. I have recently started bouldering. I am finding it hard to get a good grip on the stones when I climb. It is difficult to get a good grip on smooth and round-shaped stones. After you think of a challenge, take 2 minutes to write it down. I hope you thought about a challenge that needs a solution. In activity 3B, you must draw a design of something to solve your problem. Your design must be inspired by an animal or plant in nature. Let's look at my example. The name of my design is Gecko Climbing Tape. My design was inspired by a gecko. Their toes are covered in tiny hairs. This makes it easy for them to stick onto walls. This tape has special sticky hairs on it that allow the climber to get a good grip on the stones. You have 10 minutes to finish this activity. Well done. I'm sure you created some amazing designs. We will finish our lesson with a quiz. Listen and write down your answers under Activity 4. Question 1. What is this special glass pattern inspired by? Is it A, the humpback whale, B, the woodpecker, or C, spider web? The answer is C, spider web. Question 2. Which invention changes the energy from moving wind into electricity? Is it a wind turbine, B, Velcro, or C, a helmet? The answer is A, wind turbine. Question 3. What can we see on the fin of a humpback whale? Is it A, burrs, B, spider webs, or C, tubercles? The answer is C, tubercles. Question 4. What do American football players wear on their heads? Is it A, wind turbines, B, helmets, or C, spider webs? The answer is B, helmets. Question 5. Which animal inspired the redesign of the Shinkansen speed train? Is it A, the woodpecker, B, the kingfisher bird, or C, the humpback whale? The answer is B, the kingfisher bird. Question 6. Which material is used on products such as diapers? Is it A, Velcro, B, glass, or C, burrs? The answer is A, Velcro. Question 7. What is the name of the scientist who studied humpback whale fins? Is it A, Frank E. Kingfisher, B, Frank E. Whale, or C, Frank E. Fish? The answer is C, Frank E. Fish. Question 8. What is the name of the bird that hammers its head against trees? Is it A, the kingfisher, B, the woodpecker, or C, the humpback whale? The answer is B, the woodpecker. Well done. The next time you are in nature, take some time to observe what is around you. You could be inspired to come up with solutions to challenges around you. I hope today's class helped you to think about how nature can teach us to live sustainable lives. Goodbye.